Hey everybody, Paul Kraft coming to you on a beautiful fall afternoon. Today I am in Setagaya Ward near Jugoka Station. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about a store that I patronize quite a bit, and that is Seijo Ishii. Seijo Ishii is an upscale grocer, and it's the only upscale grocery store that has moved beyond its regional boundaries. It now can be found in cities from Sendai all the way down to just not quite to Hiroshima, but in Okayama Prefecture, past Osaka and Kobe. They have about 200 stores. Most of them are company owned, and they run them. About 25 of these stores are run either by mall landlords such as Mitsubishi Estate or railway companies such as Kintetsu that own the buildings around the stations. And this really hints at their strategy. So they have small stores, about 200 to 700 square meters, depending, about 4 times the size of a convenience store, but definitely not a grocery store. Mainly located in high traffic railway stations, and this is their strategy. So people are dropping by, getting their bento boxes. Railway stations often have a lot of, especially toward the middle part of the city, have a lot of office buildings and things like that. So they get a very robust crowd at lunch for their bento boxes. Also, people grabbing something on the way home, especially people who haven't really figured out what they want for dinner yet. Seijo Ishii was purchased by Lawson. Lawson, the number 3 convenience store chain. They have about 14,000 stores. Purchased Seijo Ishii in 2014, and it has been a financial star. Like many markets, like many countries, selling groceries is not a very profitable business. And one of the top mainstream grocers in Japan is Life Supermarkets. Most recent reporting period that I saw, Life Supermarkets did 2.98% operating margin. Pretty healthy in Japan. Many of them are 1 or less. But Seijo Ishii, like the one behind me here, did 9.8% operating margin. So there's money in imported olive oil, I guess, but they've been doing very, very well. In fact, I'll get to it later, they have made up about 30% of Lawson's operating profit. So 200 stores, 14,000 stores, making up 30% of operating profit. So their secret has been importing rare food and high quality food. They have their own trading arm called Europe Boeki, and it's one of the largest importers of grocery items. Think olive oil, Greek olive oil, salmon for smoked salmon. Think cheese. If you want goat cheese, this is if you want goat cheese, this is one of the only places that you can probably get it without going far. They've been a great partner for overseas brands, and consumers have reacted. Seijo Ishii has, from a brand equity standpoint, has the ranked number 3 with all retailers in Japan. Aeon, the number 1 player, is ranked number 1. OK Super, very, very price driven, is the number 2 most liked, and Seijo Ishii is number 3. They also sell their products to other places. I mean, you could go to even liquor stores or smaller grocery outlets and find their prosciutto and their ham and sometimes their pizzas elsewhere as well. Seijo Ishii did very, very well during the pandemic. Japan was like many countries, but it was locked down for a while, and even though it wasn't mandatory, but people stayed home. And I mentioned that Seijo Ishii's are in stations, and the footfall and the traffic in stations was down 25 to 30% depending on the month. And during that time you'd think, oh no, what happened to Seijo Ishii? So footfall down 25 to 30%, sales up 5 to 10%. So they did very well, thank you. Why is that? Well, restaurants were closed. So if you can't go to your local sushi bar or your local hangout, they have pretty darn good sushi here at Seijo Ishii. A little more expensive than the regular grocery stores, but tastes great. People are more health conscious. During pandemics, people are thinking about their health more, so why not buy the good stuff? And again, people aren't spending their money, so people are treating themselves. And of course, during the pandemic, when people are locked at home, people are drinking more. And Seijo Ishii has a great selection of European and especially Australian wines. So they did themselves very, very nice, had a very, very nice business there. Let's go back to the financials. I mentioned that this is a very profitable business for Lawson, and Lawson in January of 2021 had announced that they wanted to IPO this, to spin it out. And everyone was, I guess the investors were looking forward to it. The pandemic got worse and worse, and then it became very apparent that inflation was coming. And because much of what they do is import food and sell it at a high price, they're worried about consumers clamping down on their spending. They're worried about the dollar, which again is still very, very high, very, very strong, making some of their products here very expensive. So they pulled that off the market, and they're retrenching a little bit. Makes sense. They want to import even more. Think olive oil, again, salmon, cheeses, etc. They want to import in bulk, process it or package it here. They have 3 factories, 3 central kitchens around Japan, and sell their private label. 30% of what they sell now is under their own brand. Extremely fragmented market with lots of players, and they all compete in private label. And this is a theme, especially in Japan, but all over the world. So there you go. Hope that was helpful. Hope that was interesting. Let me know what you think.